So this is my new MobMuPlat patch. It's a looper. You can record up to 8 loops. It also has effects for the loops after you record them. It also has drum pads, a synthesizer, and you can also bring in an input from audio bus or from the internal mic, and you can send those through 8 different effects before you loop. This is the main page. We have 8 volume knobs. The 1 through 8 will record or re-record. These buttons up here, the green ones, will mute and unmute. These pink buttons down here will clear the individual loops. You can also just re-record over them. There's a start and stop, a clear all, and a monitor. So that'll turn on the input for whatever you have coming into it. We also have the post loop effects. This is a toggle for that. There's cutoff, a delay, and a bit distortion. And the bit distortion is kind of a strange bit crusher and distortion that does, and it actually runs with the BPM, so it changes in sync with the tempo of whatever loop you got going. So we also have a BPM display. Right now it's 0. There's no loops recorded or going, and this kind of displays your position in the loop. Overall volume of the app. These are all drum pads, 32, kick drum, snare, crash, and hi-hat. That was pretty loud. That's the synthesizer, which you can also play with a MIDI controller. Pretty much everything in here is controllable with a MIDI controller. Yeah, you'll see that in the video. This is the volume for the drum pads, synth, or your input. And then the effects. These are pre-loop. So there's delay time and feedback, reverb, cutoff. This is the mod pattern is kind of like a bit crusher that also does a cutoff, and it shoots out random values in time with the loop, which you'll kind of see a little later. There's a bit crusher, distortion, glitch delay, which does kind of random delay times. The time at which it shifts its value does. So that's kind of, and then we also have the 8 loops up here, which you can record or re-record from this page if you don't have a MIDI controller to do any of this stuff. Personally, I don't like touching the screen. I like tactile MIDI controllers. I built a controller specifically for this, which you'll see in the little jam video. Some of the effects require a BPM going, so delay does, mod pattern does, glitch delay does, and anything that has a timing element to the effect kind of requires a BPM going, because it synchronizes with the whatever you got going on for your BPMs. So we have a BPM now. Kind of depends on how long you record your first loop as far as how accurate that BPM is. Right now it's 145. You could probably divide that by 2 and get something pretty close to what you're actually at. Yeah, so these guys will kind of show you where you're at in the loop. And when you go to record your second one, it's going to wait for the 1 to start recording. It's kind of the only way I could figure out how to make it go in time. So if I hit it now, it's not doing anything. Recording. And you can record over as many times. So basically, it'll only record as long as your original loop. But you can record as long as you want. It'll just kind of take the last length of the original loop, and that'll be your loop that's recorded. So now that we have a loop recorded, we can do post-loop effects like bit distortion. We can do delay time. And these should all be synchronized now that we have an original BPM to go off of. Then we can change the volume. We can mute these if we want. Bring them back. And then let's do a little mod pattern on the synthesizer, which I think is pretty fun. So the mod pattern is kind of doing that stub filter. If you turn it down, it's just a single note. So let's go ahead and record that because that sounds pretty cool. So now we have 3 loops going, indicated here, indicated here. Now we have them all unmuted. And yeah. So yeah, that's just a very quick get you started. There's also a help page here, which kind of explains everything I just went over and gives you all the MIDI information you need. Almost everything is MIDI controllable, so it'll give you all the info for that. And you can also synchronize this app if you have 2 iOS devices that are on the same network. Whichever device records a loop first, it will send the BPM information to the second. So it'll essentially start all of the timing information that you need for the effects and for the recording to start on the one, everything like that. And my experience has been pretty rock solid with synchronizing. I'm planning to use this live with a couple iOS devices, me and my girlfriend, using the same app. Hopefully we'll be all synced up and everything. In our tests, it's been pretty rock solid, which is awesome. So anyway.
DJ.